This isn't just a Civic, this is a Nürburgring record breaker. This is the Hot Wheels 2018 Civic Type R. All right, let's dive in and see what we can learn about this car today and what makes it so special. For years, American Honda fans watched from the sidelines. We saw the Type R badge in magazines, we saw it in video games, we saw Japan and Europe get these high-revving, lightweight, track-focused Hondas, but not us. The Type R name goes all the way back to the 1990s. The R stood for racing. It wasn't just a trim package, it meant lighter weight, sharper handling, more power, more driver connection. It was Honda at its most focused. And then in 2017, Honda finally gave America what it had been waiting for. The FK8 generation, the 2018 Honda Civic Type R. This wasn't just another Civic with a spoiler. Honda set out with a very specific goal: build the fastest front-wheel drive production car in the world. And they did. Shortly after launch, the Civic Type R set a front-wheel drive production car lap record at the Nürburgring. That was Honda making a statement. Front-wheel drive wasn't second best, it could dominate. The FK8 generation was produced from 2017 through 2021, with 2018 being the first full model year available in the United States. All of them were built at Honda's plant in Swindon, England, and shipped worldwide. In total, roughly 50,000 FK8 Type R models were produced globally across all 5 years. A small number compared to regular Civics, which made them feel special from day one. When the 2018 model hit dealerships, the MSRP was about $34,775, but that's not what most people paid. Demand was crazy. Dealers were adding market adjustments, $5,000, $10,000, sometimes even $15,000 over sticker. It wasn't unusual to see these selling in the low to mid $40,000 range brand new. And even today, low mileage examples on platforms like Bring a Trailer continue to bring strong money. So we're going to take a look at a few that have sold recently, and then we'll get back to the car details. All right, here's some of the most recent sales on Bring a Trailer. This one here is a 2018, sold back in December, $28,444. This one has 54,000 miles on it. The interesting thing is, I noticed on Bring a Trailer, 3 out of the 4 most recent sales of this generation were this color blue. But that's probably the rarest color that I've ever seen. I sold Hondas at a dealership for 6 years, and I only saw one blue one like that ever. Most of what we got was white and red. There's the same blue one. There's the interior with the red Type R seats, and it also had the red seat belts, which came on the Type R. It's got the badge there with the serial number. And then the steering wheel always had that red Honda badge for the Type R. There's the VTEC engine there. There's the window sticker. This one shows that it was sold for $34,990, or that was what the window sticker was. Who knows what they paid for it, but there's the fancy pedals it comes with. Now here's another blue one. This one sold for, or this one actually didn't sell. It bid up to $31,000. This was back in, let's see, October it looks like. Only had 8,000 miles on it in Texas. And there's that same interior. There's the back seat. That's another unique thing about the Type R, is they didn't have a 3-seat configuration. They had that little console thing on the back there that limited it to just 2 people in the back seat, and then you can see the red seat belts there as well. Now here's a Sonic Gray Pearl. This color came out later in the production. I sold one of these when I worked at the dealership. This one sold for $37,000. This was back in September of 25, 4,000 miles on it. The interesting thing is when I sold these, I think I only sold 2 or 3 Type Rs ever because they were just so rare. We only got a few of them in every year, and we were the second biggest Honda dealer in the state of Washington. So they're pretty rare cars, and that's why the dealers got away with marking them up. There's the engine. Now there's a white. That's the championship white. That was probably the most popular color we had. This one sold for $38,000 back in November of 24. This one only has 28 miles on it. So this person didn't make much. They probably overpaid anyway too. So who knows if they even broke even on it. But it's a cool color. And Yep, you can see that red badge on the steering wheel there for the Type R. Now let's talk about what makes it special. Under the hood sits the K20C1 engine, a 2-liter turbocharged inline-4. In US trim, it produces 306 horsepower and 295 pound-feet of torque. That power comes on strong thanks to the combination of turbocharging and Honda's legendary VTEC system. You get usable torque down low, but it still pulls hard all the way to redline. It feels alive. And here's something important. It only came one way. 6-speed manual, that's it. No automatic, no dual clutch. If you wanted a Civic Type R, you were rowing your own gears. Honda even included automatic rev matching, so when you downshift, the throttle blips perfectly for you. It's smooth, precise, and makes you feel like a pro. But you can turn it off if you want to do it yourself. Performance numbers were serious. 0 to 60 in about 5 seconds, quarter mile in the low 13s, top speed around 169 miles per hour. And remember, this is front-wheel drive. That's part of what makes this car legendary. Honda engineered a dual-axis front suspension to reduce torque steer. They included a helical limited slip differential to maximize traction. Massive Brembo front brakes clamp down hard when you need them. The chassis is significantly stiffer than a regular Civic hatchback. The suspension features adaptive dampers that adjust depending on the drive mode. Comfort mode is livable, Sport tightens things up, and then Plus R mode turns it into a track weapon. And the aerodynamics, they're not fake. That huge rear wing actually produces downforce. The vents, splitters, and underbody panels all serve a function. Even the triple center exit exhaust system is engineered to balance sound and flow. Inside, it feels special immediately. Bright red sport seats that hug you tight, red seat belts, a red Honda H badge on the steering wheel, something reserved only for Type R models. A serialized Type R plaque on the dash, aluminum shift knob that feels cool to the touch, metal sport pedals. In the back, instead of a traditional 3-seat bench like a normal Civic, you get 2 sculpted rear seating positions, reinforcing the performance focus. Honda even reduced some sound deadening compared to a standard Civic to save weight and increase road feel, though it's still comfortable enough to drive every day. Curb weight comes in around 3,100 pounds, impressive considering the size, strength, and safety standards. But here's what really makes it special. It changed the conversation. For years, people believed that serious performance required rear-wheel drive or all-wheel drive. The Civic Type R proved that with the right engineering, front-wheel drive could run with and sometimes beat the competition. Cars like the Ford Focus RS and Volkswagen Golf R were all-wheel drive. The Type R said, "We'll do it with 2 driven wheels." And it worked. Some people loved the aggressive styling, others thought it was over the top, but nobody ignored it. It was loud, sharp, purpose-built, unapologetic, and in many ways, it represents the end of an era. Before electrification began taking over, before manuals became rare, and before everything felt filtered and digital. This was mechanical, connected, and engaging. A car that demanded you participate. And now, years later, we're seeing how well they've held their value. Clean, low mileage examples are still bringing strong prices on the auction market, which we've already seen. Turbocharged VTEC, manual transmission only, Nürburgring record holder, red badges, red seatbelts, driver-focused engineering. And that's why this one deserves a spot on the display. Because cars like this Hot Wheels 2018 Civic Type R are too special to be sitting in a box somewhere. Cars like this are meant to be seen.